Example number 2, still on section 2.2. This is pertaining to engine displacement. And we've got some information down here that we're going to be substituting in. So let's just go ahead and jump in. So I've got this formula, D is equal to pi times B squared, that's bore squared, times S, which is the stroke, times C, which is the number of cylinders, all divided by 4. I want you to pay special note here, and I'm not positive if this is an error or not. I remember last quarter looking into it. It might be an error, but we're just going to go with it the way it is, that the displacement is in terms of cubic inches, and this is in centimeters, and this is in centimeters. And you know, now that I'm talking about it, I'm pretty sure that we found out that that was an error, and it should say cubic centimeters, which would make sense that we talk about centimeters the whole way through. Okay, so we have this guy, and we're going to be interested in finding the bore. And I think that what I'm going to do is, rather than put the values in first and then solve, I'm going to go ahead and solve for the variable and then put the values in. So I'm going for this b. So the first thing I'm going to do is clear out the fraction by multiplying both sides by 4. So there's that side by 4. And this side by 4. And that's 4 over 1. And you can see that these guys drop out, leaving me with 4d is equal to pi b squared sc. Well, the next thing that I need to go is a pi, an s, and a c. And all of these guys are multiplying b squared. So in order to get rid of them, I'm just going to divide. I'm going to divide by the pi, I'm going to divide by the s, and I'm going to divide by the c. And what I do to that side, I must do to this side. Pi, s, and c. So these guys are gone, gone, and gone, leaving me with b squared. B squared. And there's nothing I can do over here, so I'm just going to copy him down. Now, this is great, and I like this, but that's b squared, and I want to know what b is. So I'm going to take the square root of both sides. I'm going to take that exponent off. And the way I'm going to do that is by taking the square root. And when you do this, make sure that your square root sign covers the whole fraction in this case. Well, what's the square root of b squared? The square root of b squared is b. I'm going to put him over here because you know I like him there. And there's nothing I can do over here, so I'm just going to copy that down. So essentially what I've created is I've started with this formula up here, and I created a formula for bore. This one was a formula for engine displacement, and from that I got a formula for bore. And now I'm ready to substitute in the values. So I'm just going to continue on down in top-down fashion. B is equal to 4 times the displacement. Well, what's the displacement? 278. 278 over pi. That's not changing. The stroke, 6-inch stroke, times the number of cylinders, which in this case is 6. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in my calculator, and I might end up, what do I want to do? I'm going to work from the inside out. So the first thing I'm going to do is multiply 4 times 278. Gives me 1,112, and I'm going to divide that by this denominator. I can do that 6 times 6 in my head. That's 36 pi. So it's going to be divided by 36 pi. I get 9.8 and change. Now don't forget the square root. So I have to take the square root of that. So it's going to be second. And then I hit my squared key, second, and call back that answer. And I get an answer of 3.1356. Take it out 4 places. And it says round to 1 decimal. So I have b is equal to 3.1. And what did we say bore was? Bore was in centimeters. So there's my answer.